This is Clutching Around Sports Talk. I'm Joel.
This is AJ.
Damon.
Yes, sir. So, of course, as you can see, we're missing another co-host of ours, Wayne. He had to take a little hiatus for the day, but we got Damon sitting in for him. So,
I got you, bro.
Interesting show.
No, you don't.
I'm going to keep the seat hot and warm for you, dog.
Hot and warm? Not too warm, I hope. But we got an interesting show today. We had a hiatus last week, so sorry to all our viewers, man, and subscribers. We really appreciate you guys for locking in with us, and please, we have a really, really great show this week, so be able to stay tuned. We're going to get started, man. This is episode 6, and as we've been, kind of, on our hiatus, we have an NBA champion on our hands, and that NBA champion just so happens to be the Milwaukee Bucks. So let me give a quick round of applause for the Milwaukee Bucks, for doing their thing. Shout out to everybody from Milwaukee, man, doing their thing. It's a really great moment for the city right now. Was a 50-year hiatus of a championship. The last championship that they had, Lou Alcindor, also known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Big O Oscar Robertson brought them that championship. So shout out to those men for laying the foundation for Giannis Antetokounmpo to come in and just do the damn thing. I think Giannis had like 50 points that he collected. I think. Can you bring up Giannis' stats for the final for the game 6?
I can tell you right now, 15, 14, and 5.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's an amazing game that Giannis had. So I want to talk about that.
And he did it the old school way. That was the old school way. Just go to the basket.
So we're gonna get on that. We're gonna get on that because I know Jarvis just said a lot in that statement right there, right? So first and foremost, what I want to start with Jarvis is, before we get into the old school way, I want to get started on what are your thoughts on how Milwaukee won that game and ultimately won the series, and what do you think is going to be the future of Milwaukee moving forward, and Phoenix, really, because Phoenix is in a point now to where, they're young. They have a lot of their core is, between the ages of 19 and 25, with the exception of Chris Paul being 36. But they're young. Do they still have enough time to get back to the finals within the next 5 years, or is Milwaukee gonna run it back?
Milwaukee, I don't think Milwaukee gonna run it back. Like I said, if this was a healthy Kyrie, they wouldn't be champions. But however, that's in my humble opinion. Now, right. I mean, a lot of people might not disagree, but I go ahead and stand up on that.
Right.
I'll say if Kyrie wouldn't have went down, they would have never won. They would have got Nets would have beat them in 6.
I mean, but most would say if KD foot was, if he ain't had them size 17 B Nards, right?
If it was 15, it was 3, right? But hey, these are the breaks, man.
Yeah.
But then again, you want to get to how they won.
Yeah.
That size just took effect after a while. Mm-hmm. They quit.
Yep.
They quit trying to run with them. I mean, for 3 games, they was trying to run and gun with them. That's not. They not gunners.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, they shoot. Milwaukee shoot good in spurts, but they can't sustain that kind of shooting with a Suns team. Suns will have a better shooters, just flat out. Devin Booker's a better shooter than all 3 of them put together. And you seen on given nights when he wasn't even having his way, and he was still putting up 40. And everybody like he having an off night. He really wasn't having an off night. He was still shooting 50. He's still shooting 45 to 50%, and he's still hitting 40 on you. But the other supporting cast was totally off. I mean, these guys after game 3, these guys was disappeared. Chris Paul disappeared. So nobody stepped up.
I have a question to pose for that, but I'm gonna hold it for right now. I want to get your opinion first before I say that.
No, I don't think Milwaukee can run it back. I do agree. Only because Brooklyn healthy, I think they win the series. But if they healthy, durability is part of the game. I mean, people got to just take that in. It's not, lucky or if this would have happened. You got to stay on the court. Milwaukee had to go through the grind just like everybody else did. They were the healthiest.
That's what everybody.
The strong survive.
Right.
So that's a championship, right?
I agree.
So we don't know what's gonna happen next year, but on paper, it's Brooklyn, right? We know that,
right?
But as far as Phoenix, it all depends on who they sign. Because Mikal Bridges took a step forward. They got to start playing Cam
DeAndre
more.
Ayton too.
DeAndre Ayton look good.
Yeah.
Those guys, they young. They look good, man. They was holding their own, even though he got ate up a lot by Giannis.
I don't think he was really getting ate up. I think he was getting too many of these little tic-tac.
But, hey, you just said it.
He was standing there flat-footed, man, running to you, and it's a foul on you.
But you just said it, though. Hey, you just said it. As the series went on, physicality, man.
Well, if you both saw, how the series unfolded, you saw DeAndre actually putting his shoulder into Giannis, trying to absorb the impact instead of squaring up and taking that impact head on in his chest. Because I think if he'd have done that, it'd have been harder for the refs to call a foul on DeAndre Ayton. It would have been more so them having to call an offensive foul on Giannis, which they really don't do. They don't really call offensive fouls on him like that, which a lot of the times as we see, they probably should and could call them, but they don't. So at the end of the day, it's kind of like I think his confidence started to wear a little bit more because his offense wasn't there. So his defense took a back seat.
But again, you know what? Monty is a great coach, but I kind of blame him, keep him on the island like that. You just said something. Milwaukee shooting, right? It comes and goes.
It comes and goes.
So you double team Giannis and make them take the shots.
Simple things.
But he kept going one-on-one.
Simple things.
One-on-one.
Simple
he was
things I
eating
couldn't
him up alive,
understand.
man.
Simple things I couldn't understand from his point of view.
Like I'd rather have Kate. What's
that's a great point.
He's playing to their hand. He was playing to their hand the last 6 games. I'm like, okay, why you not speeding up the pace? Y'all sitting over here bringing the ball down court slow, methodical. That's not y'all game.
Hey, that's Chris Paul.
Y'all don't have a soft.
That's Chris Paul. That's how Chris Paul played.
He got to speed up the game. He had to speed up the game. That's their game plan. Their game plan was to run and gun, and they didn't do that. They after game 3, it was flat out just we.
If I'm Chris Paul, I know I'm old. I know I've been in the league for 16 years. But you had 2 more games. You got to use all your energy to run. Because Milwaukee, you slowing it down, you playing right into their hand. Because they physical. Drew Holiday, oh my goodness. Like his defense, I've never seen, it's hard to play defense in this league because you can't touch nobody.
I mean, on JJ Redick's podcast, KD was on there talking about Drew Holiday's
his defense is tough, man.
It's elite.
I give him solid defense, but it's not like he was putting the clamps on the boy. The boy was still lighting him up for 47.
You can't clamp a great offensive player, but you can stop him. You can stop him in moments.
Well, he was doing.
You can get clutch.
You can make it harder for them to score.
He was doing this. He was doing what he had to do, but at the same time, I was looking at Phoenix, and I didn't understand hardly nothing they was doing. They could have run him off of screens. They was doing ISO ball with the wrong players. I was like, why is this guy got the ball now? Why?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let's just do a pick for Devin Booker and let him come back to the 3-point spot up. Even could Devin Booker have a nice mid-range game too, so you could have played 2-man ball instead of letting Brook Lopez and Giannis play in the middle. They were just sagging off playing in the middle. I was like, Monty, what are we doing? We got to adjust.
Well, I'll say this because I want to pose that question that I had before. I'll say this in Monty Williams' defense. I think he has a floor general on the floor, which is Chris Paul. So I think he wanted and he had more confidence in his players because they've shown that throughout the whole season that, hey, we can figure this out. You know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, I think he wanted them to figure out how to adjust to it more so than him making those tedious necessary adjustments. And they just, I think with Phoenix's issue was after the game 3 blowout, because that was their first blowout, really the whole playoffs. Mm-hmm. So I feel that probably the whole season. But I think at the end of the day, they was trying to figure out how do we come back from a blowout like that, and the confidence was already gone. But my question to both of you is, does this hurt Chris Paul's legacy with him having such a playoff blunder in those last 4 games? Do you knock him out of your, supposed top 10 of point guards, or does he stay the same?
No, his body of work speaks for itself. His body of work is bar none. He's a true point guard. Right. You don't have that no more.
Right.
Like I said before, all you got now is shooting guards.
Right.
Bringing the ball up the floor, running ISO, shoot. This guy's he know how to get you involved. He know how to get his shot. He know how to give you his shot. He know how to dump a ball. He know how to set up a play. Mm-hmm. You ain't finding that no more. These guys are just straight shooters. And that really gets them into really gets them into a bind when we get to another subject, and I'm gonna show you how. But you have to have that dog mentality like him. He ain't backing down to nobody. He like a little Wolverine. He ain't backing down to nobody.
Right.
He's gonna go in there. He gonna give you a bow. You can fight if you want to. These days you don't get that. You get like for instance, like Booker. I think Booker and what's the big guy name?
DeAndre Ayton.
That Ayton.
Yeah.
I think they was looking for the refs just a little bit too much. Okay, just you see what the call is. Okay, let's go and adjust our call and go on ball out.
That's the entire generation of basketball
that's a good point.
Because everybody's looking at the ref. Yeah. His job at first, his job is just to roll the ball and play. That's his job. Roll that ball and play.
Yeah.
I used to say that same thing when it would come to the Rockets and James Harden. I think James looked for the call a little too much when he wasn't getting it. And I used to say, bro, just play. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you ain't gonna get every call that you should get.
No.
But you can have some control over you putting the ball in the basket.
I disagree. I think James Harden, what he did, he made contact that made the referees trying to figure out if that's a foul or not.
But I'm saying when he wasn't getting it. When he didn't get those
talking
calls,
about like in crunch time when he didn't get it.
There's so many players. I mean, look at the Olympics. Like I was watching it earlier today. I mean, they physical in that game. I mean, that's a different basketball. And every time they looking like, and the ref was like, "Well, what are you doing? We're not calling that. This not the NBA." So this is why they kind of struggling a little bit. They gonna win gold anyway, but they struggling with the physicality. Cause
that's another point I brought up.
They just
the physical part of the ball.
I hate to say soft, but it's just like they just used to it. You know what I'm saying? That's what they know.
That's the problem. You gotta understand they too prioritize on the call. Yeah. If he not gonna give you the call, then you gotta say, okay, well, I'm gonna come in and teach you how to do this. I'm gonna put a Elijah one on you. You gonna be jumping like a bunny now.
I know that's the question I want to pose is getting off topic, but I want to ask it really quickly. Do you feel as if the NBA has sacrificed skill for physicality?
No, the NBA has sacrificed business for ratings.
But it's the same thing.
Basically, they made this league where other players can survive in this league.
I mean, that's pretty much the same question, though.
They're not necessarily more skillful.
But they are, though.
Because if you let just a dog defense like back in the 90s go, that's what I'm telling you. I don't see too many of them scoring for it. But since we in this touch league,
you can't.
Since we're in this touch league, yeah, anybody can score 40, 50 in any given night.
But you can't.
Hold on, let me ask you this. Yeah. Kevin Durant is the greatest scorer, right?
The greatest scorer, what?
Ever. I mean,
that's debatable.
That's debatable.
Skill.
I wouldn't.
Kevin Durant skill, 7 foot tall. I mean, he pushing up like a 6'2" guard.
It definitely do that.
Okay, you think he can't drop 40 in the 90s? I don't care how physical it was.
Kevin, because we talking
when you pull up that deep, you can't touch him no way.
We talking about Kevin Durant. Nobody's blocking his shot when he releases.
Okay, all right.
When he releases his shot, it's like what 12 foot at the top. It's very seldom you see somebody block his shot.
Right.
It's very seldom you see somebody steal a ball from.
They have to block it as he's coming up.
Yeah. Well, about the only chance you got, because once he releases it, you got to think he's an athlete. He can jump with the best of them, but the difference is he's 7 foot. And his release, and he's a long 7 foot. His arms are almost he can scratch his kneecap standing straight up. I mean, we talking about Kevin Durant, but I'm talking about a lot of these, like a Uncle Tupou. Uncle Tupou is not gonna go and bully ball.
So
Gaines is not gonna bully ball or Charles Barkley or Hakeem Olajuwon.
Oh no,
it's not happening.
Yes,
he's not gonna bully these guys.
No.
Wait a minute. You think Gaines at 225 pounds, 230?
Wait.
Will bully Charles Barkley?
First of all, this man just won a championship and he's still Gaines.
He's still Gaines. We're in America. We're in America.
Just for the day. You can't call him Giannis.
No super team. He won.
When I speak English, when I see G, that stands for Gaines. Now, I'm not switching my syllables because he's from Italy, Greece, or whatever you want to call it. Hey, it is what it is. He's gonna be Gaines with AJ. Okay. AJ was calling him Gaines.
Okay.
It's cemented.
All my AJ fans out here. Gaines. I want, but like I'm saying, this guy would not be bullying these guys like this, because you would have a lamb beer to hit you in your nose just cause.
Okay, but
they not built for this, bro.
I got you,
but
I'm not trying to see nobody get hit in the nose playing basketball.
I understand that, but that's my difference is that was the particular way they play, and the particular way how the other guys come through. Is a big difference, but yet at the same time, it alleviates a whole lot of this. We gonna jack these 35-foot threes because you gonna have a man on your hip. You not shooting it. You can't. They leaning on you, bro. You gonna get a body pick. You ain't getting no pick where I'm finna just jump out here and throw myself. No, you getting a hip and an elbow with this. You ain't releasing from this. So if your big man don't step up, it's feast or famine. It's dunk all day.
I don't know. I think Giannis will be fine in the 90s.
No, Giannis.
I think he would have been fine.
First of all, Giannis
he's very physical.
First of all, Giannis can't shoot.
I mean, you didn't have to shoot, but
Giannis can't shoot.
You didn't have to shoot back in the day.
He's 6 foot. He's 7 foot. Just say, listen to me, 7 foot.
AJ,
he didn't have to shoot.
He's 7 foot. He's one dimensional. He's not Shaq. He's not 300 pounds. He's not finna just go in there. He's not finna go in there and just grab a Elijah one and just I'm finna dunk on you when I feel like. No,
the comparisons
it's not
of
happening.
Giannis and Shaq.
He's not gonna dominate David Robinson in the paint like that. No, it's not happening.
The comparisons of Giannis and Shaq are actually closer than you might think.
No, it's not.
It
don't
is.
even
Young Shaq and Giannis is almost the same.
young
Shaq, the Lakers Shaq is a different Shaq.
Young Shaq, we talking about a young Shaq who was still 300 pounds when he was at Orlando.
Nah, he was about 280 something, but he was running.
Okay,
even Shaq himself had to say that the comparisons are real.
Well, Shaq like that old school basketball like me, that bully ball, go in here and dunk on him.
But he said
put all this
comparisons.
This shooting. But let's get real. He's not going out there one dimensional and scoring no 50 on nobody back in them days.
If the Diesel agrees, I'm not saying that.
Hold on. So let me
I'm not saying that.
Oh my God.
Let me give you just so in the 90s. That was the prime of big men. I give you that.
That was the
David
prime
Robinson,
of big men.
Hakeem Olajuwon,
Patrick Ewing,
Alonzo Mourning. These guys can play defense.
You had other guys too.
I feel like a lot of people forget when Shaq was in the Lakers. All of those guys started to fall off. So it was Shaq.
Well, they was retired by that time.
Exactly. So you can't think of any other great centers behind Shaq during the early 2000s, right?
Hey.
So that's why he was so dominant.
I could give you a
So
good
I
post
give you
player
that, but
nobody
however-
stopped.
Huh?
Tim Duncan was a power forward
He
center.
was a power forward.
But
Because
you
David
can't-
Robinson was still playing the center during that time.
No, he retired after the first.
No,
he was there up to 03.
He was up to 03.
No, he was up to
Okay,
03.
he was done after that, right?
Right, he was done after
Because
that.
they won a championship.
He was
Twice.
still the power forward.
He was still a power forward, but when David left, he went to the block primarily, right?
Not
He's
really,
just a
bro.
big
He
guy
was
with
still
skills.
considered as a power
He
forward,
was
bro.
considered a
He
power
was a big
forward.
guy
Yeah.
with skills. It ain't his fault he had skills inside out game, but he still know how to wear you out on the block. And when he looking for it, he didn't make his game solely outside. He wore you out on the block.
Hey, come on, man. So let me ask you, watching that game, bro. You looking at Giannis, his defense, his energy. The man is 7 foot tall, chasing down dudes, and he had like 4 chase down blocks.
Okay, that's good. That's hustle play.
I'm just saying his speed alone, them guys can't keep up with. So in a half court set, maybe you're right. It'll be hard for him to get his buckets. But if he get rebounds and he taking off. A lot of times though, big men, they catch the rebound, passing it to the point guard.
Yeah,
that's a great point.
Giannis, he catching it and gone. And you see him in stride. It's like 5 steps. He already at the rim.
Again, that's good analogy. But let's be real. We talking about different eras. But you know dang on well they taking hard fouls from the top of the key.
Yeah.
You know they get back in transition.
Yeah.
You know back in the days they got back in transition. They just didn't look on defense.
Right.
And you know it was guys like Rodman who that was their job to get in your head and foul you hard.
But see, here's the thing about back
and you know he would have been like Hacker-Shack.
Yeah.
He would have been on the free throw line
because we got it.
40 times.
Yeah. Here's the thing about back in the day. A lot of those guys was all traditional. They did the exact same thing. And our league today is talent all over the place. Giannis just proved you don't need to be a shooter to get 50 points.
No, you
What's
don't.
the difference between Giannis 50 and Steph Curry 50?
The difference is Steph Curry shooting 3-pointers. Giannis is wearing you out on the block.
What I'm saying is
that's a different
diversity of
50.
skill set in this league today is a good thing because a lot of those guys back in that day, majority of them did the same.
But we're not seeing diversity.
It was to Jordan. He changed it. Jordan was the first shooting guard, was the face of the league. A lot of those guys, it was always about the big man.
No.
Even though Magic Johnson.
No.
And
Magic
Johnson,
was the face of the league.
But he was 6'8", 6'9".
He was the point guard.
He did everything.
He was a point guard.
But that was
he was a point guard.
It was an anomaly.
Magic is so underrated,
point
bro.
guard.
I don't think
Bird
people
was
appreciate
Bird, Magic. Before
Small
Bird and
forward,
Magic, who's
small forward? Yeah.
not a shoot, not an off guard that play off ball.
But before that, it was your boy from Philadelphia, Julius Erving. Before that, the Big O shooting guard. Before that, boy, who's the logo?
Big O didn't
who's
win
the
without
logo? That was a shooting guard. The logo of the NBA. West, a logo, a shooting guard.
Okay, but them guys didn't win that many championships. Big man, Bill Russell. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Wilt only got one, but because he had to deal with Bill Russell.
Well, he had to deal with an all-star cast. I mean,
shout out Nuke one time.
He had to deal with an all-star cast. But Wilt was the man.
11 in a row. Come on.
Wilt was the man.
All right. I know we're getting off topic, man.
Right. No, here's the deal. So, shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks, man. 2021 NBA champions. Y'all did y'all thing this year, man. Congratulations. Kudos to you guys. Small market
the
team.
The NBA focus on the big markets all the time.
Most
but
definitely.
The small market, it was good to see it. Just good to see Phoenix and Milwaukee. It was just like a different scenery. We always, even though Cleveland is a small market, but they had LeBron. It was just a good thing to see that finals like that.
Two fresh bloods,
but
not the normal rotation.
I can't lie. Next year finals,
it's gonna be crazy.
I want to see. I want to see. I know we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. I mean, everybody wants to see Brooklyn and LA.
Yeah,
but
particularly I don't.
We're gonna talk about. We're gonna get on it. We're gonna get into some definitely fresh and new blood in the NBA right now. The NBA draft just happened this past Thursday, so a lot of kids, had their dreams come true that they've been having since they were, in adolescence, man. So shout out to those guys, man. Shout out to the number 1 pick, Cade Cunningham, going to the Detroit Pistons. Shout out to the man, Jalen Green,
number 2 overall.
Going to the number 2 overall pick to the Houston Rockets.
Yes, sir.
We here. We love that pick.
Sir.
Houston fans.
That swagger.
They had 4.
That sweetness.
They had 4.
Green. Had to get big guy from Turkey.
That sweetness.
But y'all better not ever say he the next new coming of Olajuwon. Don't do that.
Sengun?
Don't do that.
Sengun?
Don't do that. He let this man groom himself, man.
I seen some of the I ain't know nothing about him. I can't lie.
I never heard of him. When they took it, I was like, who is this guy?
But to move to get 16 to get him, I was like, okay, I gotta look him up. Who is this dude? He got nice little post moves, man. I mean, we'll see what happens. Sagoon, I don't know. Don't ask me to pronounce.
And then they took 23 and 24 back to back.
Yeah. They had 4 picks.
So what I've been hearing about Usman is crazy on defense. I've been hearing he's really.
I see he's
really good, hyperactive.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Christopher, he's getting a chance to play with Jalen Green again.
Yeah.
So I think
the
I don't think he's a bad guy. The guy from ASU, right?
Right.
I don't think he's a bad pick because I'm looking at his game. He like to go to the hole. He like to do what I like.
Yeah.
Slash to the.
So we gonna figure out what he like to do.
His game look like a 6-man, like a perfect come off the bench and just pull up, man. Just shoot. Don't think about passing. Just get buckets.
I ain't gonna start the lineup yet right now because
saying,
it's some things you gotta still work on. You got a Wall. You got Wall there. You still got some more veterans there.
Man, let him
and then
go.
you still got some more guys that I don't even know if they.
Well, I'll say this. I want to pose the question of, and we're gonna talk Rockets basketball right now. What grade do you give the Rockets for their draft?
I give them a B+.
B+? Okay.
I mean, because like I already told you, I wasn't really particular about the draft. It's like it wasn't
good.
It wasn't that shining star I like to see. It's like it wasn't like
everything.
But no, that's good because most people.
Man, this is what we gotta do in life. We just gotta call it what it is. All this here banana pudding and trying to make everything the greatest is really
pudding.
wearing me out, man. I be like, golly, man, come on,
You need a drink?
Take it all in one context. It just give me headaches. I'm like, kids get drafted. Well, he's the next coming of Dwayne Wade. I'm like, come on, man.
No, they only do comparisons. I don't think they never say the next coming.
Oh man,
they do.
They go.
Cunningham look
they
good,
go
though.
too far. That's just like you have one good game and all of a sudden the dude is the next big thing in America, and then it don't pan out so good, and then it's like, okay,
I do agree.
You just gotta let these things play out and let them become what they gonna become, and quit doing all this.
You know what?
Yeah.
That gets to my nerves.
I don't agree with you.
I actually kind of agree.
I don't agree with you on most occasions.
Man, I'm going.
But this time,
that one.
I agree.
I'm going to Mount Everest and yell off the top of it, "Shut up!" and then go to K2 and do the same thing. That way the whole world hears.
Yeah.
Straight up. I mean, that's good that you gave them a B+ because most Rocket fans have given them an A-.
I was about to say A-.
You know,
Hey, can I tell you why A- though?
Why A-?
You got to think about how it went down. First of all, we got 2 of those picks through James Harden trade, and then the second pick,
good.
The second pick was a gamble. We had a 52% chance of getting that because if we would have fell out of the top 5, we would have automatically went to 18. But we got the second pick, so instantly right there, you got to grade that because that was the trade. That was the trade for Westbrook. So essentially, you traded Westbrook for Jalen Green.
Basically,
you know what I'm saying? So
I like that.
I graded like that. Now you talking about just the players? I got what you saying B+, but I'm looking at all that transpired to get all that.
Yeah, but
now I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to disrespect Sengun. I don't know what he's about. I mean, to go up 16 to get him, they got to see something.
I wouldn't have went up and got him because I think you could have got him at your standing point. That's what I think.
I think so too.
I think you could have got him.
They only had 4 picks. 3 picks altogether.
Yeah,
and I don't think they had any picks in the second round. So they wanted to get in that one. They just wanted to build because this. I know what you're saying about this draft, but they said this draft was predicted to be one of the best drafts since.
2003,
because they got a lot of, and it is a lot of talent in this draft, man. I mean, we ain't even mentioned Jalen Suggs or anybody.
Let's go. I want to go down and talk about one guy. Go up a little bit. I want to talk about Jonathan Kuminga. Man, the Warriors got a really good guy.
That was a steal.
Jonathan Kuminga.
That was a steal.
You know what I'm saying? He's a shooter, man. He was on the same team as.
Oh wait, no, that's not him. That's the shooter. I'm thinking about Moses Moody. Jonathan is the forward, I believe. If I'm not mistaken.
Now some of these guys, that Wagner guy, I never heard of him.
I've been peeping Franz Wagner for a while because I watch NCAA basketball. So
I'm about to ask that who watch. It's hard to watch college basketball.
He's been a focal point of Michigan's basketball for quite some time now. So when Franz got drafted, I've been following him for a while. So I was happy for him getting drafted this year. And the Magic got him. The Magic actually, I like their draft picks.
Orlando picked that one guy that's brothers played for the Magics already, right?
That was France. That was Franz Wagner.
I didn't never heard.
Yeah. I mean, they got Jalen Suggs. You know,
a lot of guards out there, man.
A lot of guards.
Anthony Cole, Jalen Suggs.
I think they had a bunch of tweeners, 2 guys who can play 2-3 roles.
Yeah,
I was looking at too. Also,
who y'all think? I mean, I know this your part, but I got a question. Like,
who you think gonna be the best out this draft?
Who gonna be the bust? I already got one in mind, and I think it's gonna be Evan Mobley because Cleveland never developed their players too well. And no, it's not on him.
Unfortunately, this is a big problem in the NBA. If you get the chance to
never develop their players.
That's why I think Kuminga is got the better hand because he get to go with savvy veterans.
Yeah.
Savvy veterans, and he don't have no pressure on him, and he get to learn on the fly.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna get some minutes. How it look like he's gonna get heavy rotation.
Yeah.
So that's all a plus for him. For with the guys at the top, you got Cade, Jalen. They are unproven teams. These are unproven teams. Yeah. We don't know what the coach is gonna do with them. We don't know
what teams.
Pistons, Rockets.
I think those are the perfect teams. I mean, they're not gonna be good.
Yeah, but that's my point. Time to grow. That's my point. Is you growing, developing, or is you picking up bad habits? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
That's why a lot of people been telling me John Wall could be the key to mentor, but I don't trust John Wall to be a mentor.
John Wall is suspect
for Jalen Green.
Just John Wall is suspect, not with his overall behavior. I ain't gonna say it's overall behavior because he really doesn't get in trouble. Yeah, but it's just the fact that his own game hasn't progressed since his second year with the Wizards. It's pretty much the same.
You got to think about it. Yeah. The Wizards, the last time they were in the playoffs was due to John Wall. Yeah. You know, John Wall actually pushed them to almost get into an Eastern Conference Finals.
And what was the knock on it?
I think the furthest they went was to the second rounds, though.
You talking about his injuries?
No, not his injuries. His injuries, his outside game.
He can't shoot.
He can't shoot. It's still the same.
But at the same time, you got to think about it. That's what Bradley Beal is for.
Yeah. Well, Bradley Beal can fill it up with the best of them.
Exactly. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you still have to have a guy like John Wall on the team to be that veteran presence to help those young guys. Because if you can, I mean, you can see it right now. That team is full of young cats.
Yeah, that's 1-2 year cats they banking on. Exactly. And then you got Wall and a few others. And we don't even know what's the jury about the Gordon, huh?
No, we really don't. We don't know what
they might be shopping both of them.
They may. They may.
If they don't trade them now, they're gonna probably go into the season to see how the season goes. Because with those veterans, because you got Christian Wood, he's 26. He ain't no young puppet. So you actually have a team to win certain games and see how those young guys come along with them. And if the season don't go as planned, I think they'll probably start thinking about trading John Wall or trading.
I think they got to ride Woods out for at least 2 years.
I think they're gonna think about trading him too.
Man,
I mean, because think about it, they want him to figure out. You know, they want to get his trade stock up, right?
He's a great player.
They want to figure out, hey, if he's good enough, we might be able to get some valuable pieces for him. Because the Rockets understand that this is a under construction type of thing, 3 to 5 years project.
This is a building process, and you never know how long it's taking. What they really looking at?
So Joe, I got what you're saying. If they are good enough to win games, or like they above 500, borderline playoffs, they gonna keep him. But is he good enough to his stats look good, but they not winning games? That's when he becomes trade bait. Yeah,
sure.
Right, yeah, we're gonna trade him because it's
if he comes in and have a spectacular
I think they gotta give him a year with these guys.
I say two.
You gotta give him two.
I say 2 years. At least 2 years with these guys.
Yeah.
To see.
Because then by that time he'll be like 28, 29. He might be looking for something. And those guys will be on the 21, 22.
He gonna progress because he getting more time right now. So I'm saying you have to stay with this dude for at least 2 years because he's the only commodity that can actually scope.
Yeah.
Right.
And we don't know how you're gonna work the rookies in.
I mean, I say plug them in right now.
But a defensive player always hit the flow.
Yeah.
A defense player always should hit the flow.
Yeah.
There's no negative in defense.
Oh yeah. The dude we got at 23, what's his name? I can't pronounce it either.
No, I can't pronounce it.
I mean, these foreigners, I can't.
Hey man, I say Gaines. I don't say Young. This is all I'm
Usman Garuba.
Usman Garuba.
He's about 6'8". Okay, he's hyperactive. He like to hit the board.
I seen his highlights.
He like to hit the board.
I seen him running and gunning. He can't shoot at all, but I don't care. You play defense like that and you run. That's like what was that player?
Everybody can't be a scorer. What
was that player?
You need some Dennis Rodmans.
Back in the day, in the earlier 2000s, Kenneth Fareed. That's what he reminded me of. Rebound, hustle plays, run, gun.
That's what you need.
You need that. You need that.
You can't. Everybody can't be the star. All star cat.
I agree.
So get that out. Yeah. So what we want to do now is we want to get into NBA free agency, man. We got some big news.
The Russell Westbrook.
right at the start of the draft.
It's just good for the Lakers.
Oh man, so that's what we finna talk about right now. We finna talk about who are all the free agents. What do you think they're gonna do? And before we do that, we gotta talk about the trade that's already happened, which is the Russell Westbrook trade. So, in that trade, of course, we know if you've been keeping up with it, the Lakers sent over the 2021 number 22
no,
to 22nd pick.
2022.
It was 21. It was this year's pick. It was the 22nd pick, though.
It was this year's pick?
Yeah, it was this year's pick. It was the 22nd pick. So they sent that over, Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, and KCP for Russell Westbrook. So
that's 4 men.
It's 4 men.
That's 4 men.
So what I want to do is I want to start off with Damon. Do you think this makes the Lakers better, and do you think that this puts the Lakers in a position to have the inevitable, or what everybody wants to see, as Brooklyn
and the Lakers?
All
right. So I've been thinking hard about this, right? Let me just say this about Russell Westbrook. All right, Russell Westbrook is a Hall of Famer. Do we agree? First ballot.
For sure.
I mean, you got 4 seasons averaging a triple-double. That's tough. All right? So Westbrook, him going to the Lakers, you have to put them as a favorite, because I feel like they still a favorite with a healthy Anthony Davis. And I know Westbrook can't shoot. None of them 3 guys are the best shooters in the world, those 3 top guys. But when you have stars like that, I mean, you don't. We see now Milwaukee wasn't a good shooting team. The Lakers of 2020 wasn't a good shooting team.
And they won a championship.
And then Toronto wasn't a great shooting team. They knew how to hit shots in moments. So
consistency. They was consistent.
It's really
they
about
the most consistent.
And we just saw Milwaukee won based on physicality. And you talking about physicality.
We just talking about Billy Ball.
Yeah, Westbrook and LeBron James. I do think Anthony Davis is a little soft, because he not soft, but he just can't stay healthy. So, however, I give him the favorite. And yes.
Over Brooklyn?
No. Yeah, no. I don't give them the favorite over Brooklyn. But I could be wrong. It's a series. I really don't like when teams team up. I'm not a fan of it. I can't lie. This one got my attention. Because think about it. Westbrook never won a championship. Harden never won a championship. Kyrie got 1. Kevin Durant got 2. LeBron James got 4. Anthony Davis got 1. So you really got stars. It's just like they got some common ground in this, right? Mm-hmm. And then you got to think about Westbrook wanted to always get back at Kevin Durant and now James Harden, because they were quote unquote friends, but they separated in the Rockets. And now you got to think about Kyrie. He got issues with LeBron. He want to win over LeBron.
Do they have issues, or is that media driven?
It's media driven, but the media is gonna sell the hell out of it.
A certain amount is media driven, but a certain amount is still on the players too.
It's on the players. You can't tell me, bro.
I think it's only from a competitive standpoint.
I don't think it's like really Jordan and Isaiah Thomas. I don't think it's like Jordan and Isaiah Thomas.
Right. It's more so from a competitive standpoint, because we all know Kyrie. And to this day, I don't understand why it hasn't worked out for him since he's left, and that's fact. But he wanted to leave LeBron's shadow to do it on his own, which is okay. But at the end of the day, he found out it wasn't sweet. So I think him doing that was a media-driven thing. Mm-hmm. That was like, okay, they have issues. This is what we're going to spend. The same thing happened with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook.
I don't really think the issue with LeBron and Kyrie was pretty much the same. I think it was more Kyrie wanted to be the highest paid player on the team.
No.
And he wasn't going to get it with LeBron.
No, it wasn't about money.
That's what I was thinking.
Coach Handley, the assistant coach for the Lakers, he basically said it really was more so on Kyrie wanting to step out on his own and
out of
do
the
it.
shadows of LeBron.
But that's what he said. That's what they say.
But I'm look, at the end of the day, I can have my own opinion, but I'm gonna go with the guys that were there in the mix at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was there from the whole Cleveland situation, right?
We got Kyrie got mental issues. He bipolar. He switches. I'm gonna say it was some money issues with that, and I'm gonna say he probably wanted to be the man.
Okay, I mean,
yeah.
you know,
he couldn't be the man.
I mean, with
LeBron.
Well, we so far away from. I have to take what the sources are.
But
that's close to the team because I'm with Joe on that in that sense, and I kind of get you. I think it is a bit money as well.
Yeah.
But I also think he just wanted to get out of the shadows of LeBron. Because Kyrie hit the shot, and he probably feel like they were talking about the LeBron James block too much, right? That can affect the player.
Well, you got to understand.
They both had 42, and then one in that game. What was that? Game 5 or game 6?
You got to understand.
But LeBron was the face. It really wouldn't matter if Kyrie would have hit 60 and LeBron hit 20. And had a stellar triple double. They still was gonna point out to LeBron because he's the face.
Right.
That's just how
Kyrie,
they roll, man.
Kyrie wanted to get out of that. I mean, he kind of learned his lesson in Boston. It ain't that easy to carry a team.
Well, no, it ain't.
No,
Duh.
it's not. It's not.
Especially when you 5'11".
Right.
I mean, come on.
He's 6'2".
Yeah. Especially when you 5'11". Well, you can give him 6'2".
He give him 5'11".
I give him 5'11". Nah, he's 6'2". Go and roll the 6'2".
yeah.
But check this out though. With
Russell,
Russell and Kevin Durant, that had nothing to do with money. That was pure play on skill.
Man.
And much of this was, I say, due to Coach Donovan. He had the nucleus. He had the purest score.
Scott Brooks was there too. Scott Brooks was there. He was there with them first.
He was there first.
Yeah. And
he was there, but they was young pups then.
Yeah.
And then they got rid of him.
Yeah.
That's another question.
No, I think Scott was still there with Kevin Durant and Westbrook, and then he got fired. And then they got
They got Billy Donovan.
Yeah.
They got Billy.
But that was another question mark. We'll go back to that later.
Yeah.
With the coaching change, I ain't understand that.
Yeah.
But to me, the whole big thing with Durant.
It's interesting you say that because nobody's ever talked about the coaching change between Scotty Brooks and Billy Donovan.
It mattered.
Nobody says
because
that.
That was his first year in the NBA.
I never got
And Kevin
there.
Durant was still there.
Yes.
Yeah,
he was there. He come from Florida.
Yeah.
Over there.
He did.
Straight.
Now he was a great coach in Florida. Now they won them 2 championships.
It's different in basketball.
Court Brewer and all
It's different in basketball. Your superstars don't have to stay with you in pro.
No, I got you.
And he got Kevin Durant and some animosity that he really couldn't grab a hold of because these wasn't his real dudes. He didn't get a chance to get a bond with them.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, Durant will have moments where he just frustrated with Westbrook. I can understand that because Westbrook goes like a wild boar. He just goes in and just does stuff for no apparent reason. And half the time, he doesn't have to do that when you have a Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Or say you're going to be playing with LeBron. You don't have to do that. You could pass a ball and people will literally, you'll get lost in the mix and come back up with a wide open shot, but he wouldn't do that.
So let's go back to Joe's question then. So what you think the Lakers going to do now that they got him?
I don't see an upgrade. I don't see an upgrade. You needed a shooter. You needed a guy.
Well, they're not done.
A guy could at least spot up and shoot.
Let's put that into context though. They're not done.
But these 3 guys getting the ball 75% of the time, so your shooter's gonna be alleviated.
Well, your shooters are gonna be your role players.
Yeah.
So
your shooters gonna be alleviated.
At the end of the day,
it is crucial because now you got Westbrook, LeBron James, AD. The other 2 is crucial.
The other 2 gonna be crucial.
Man, if they
now you see where I'm coming from.
But they would have got Buddy Hield.
But here's the thing.
I could tell you this about LeBron game. He doesn't have to dominate the ball.
He don't.
In this case, it'll help him. But Russell Westbrook, my God, we don't know what's gonna come. He might go down here and just throw up 3-4 air balls.
Yeah.
So
you don't know what's coming. It's an enigma. This is interesting.
So here's what I saw, and this is why I don't want people to jump to conclusions about this for right now, because the Lakers, first and foremost, would not have made this trade without first talking to LeBron and AD.
Absolutely.
If it was going to work. That's first and foremost.
LeBron James, the GM. LeBron James, the GM. He's the GM.
No. We got to stop that because we got to give Rob Pelinka his credit.
And not give Rob
Pelinka did his thing.
Man,
he did his thing last couple of years putting that team together.
Yeah.
And he did his thing this year with figuring things out. Actually, last offseason.
All he's saying is I ain't Green Bay. I know how to keep my superstar happy.
Rob Pelinka worked with numbers. I give him that part, but he wasn't calling the shots. LeBron was calling the shots. LeBron was saying who
it was from day one, and we have to stop that narrative too. The Lakers have said when LeBron became a free agent with the Lakers that he had no say so as far as a lot of this stuff.
Man, come on,
so,
man. It's LeBron James.
It's LeBron,
man.
But you got to understand though,
man.
every team isn't going to cater to and isn't going to haphazardly
cater
to their team.
The Lakers cater
like
to
the
LeBron.
Rockets did with James Harden.
The Lakers.
The Lakers. No, we talking about.
Because you see what I'm saying?
We talking about two different people. We talking about LeBron and Harden. Harden is
hold on, Jarvis.
No,
I got you. Jarvis. LeBron James is your boy. The Lakers. Let's not forget what the Lakers was. They was nothing.
Zero.
They got LeBron. Of course, they gonna kiss some. You know what? For LeBron to save that franchise because they was in. Think about it. They had players. They wasn't going to win any type of championship in the next 6 to 7 years. It was going to be a while. Even the first year with LeBron, they didn't even make the playoffs. And I understand LeBron James got hurt.
He got hurt,
but look what he had to do for them to be good. That's why he got hurt.
But look at
it because of LeBron James. Anthony Davis is there.
Exactly.
So you got to make him.
Who?
Anthony Davis not going to the Lakers. Now he might try to bring somebody to the Lakers with him.
No, time out. He almost got Kawhi and Paul George, or one of them, to come to the Lakers too.
Well, actually,
so that's all on LeBron.
Kawhi was going.
I'm not a LeBron James.
We
helping your case.
Kawhi was going. Kawhi was actually going, but he actually pushed Ballmer and Doc to make the trade for Paul George. You know, so we understand.
Thank God. Oh my goodness, you know how dominant the Lakers would have been.
Just say LeBron's a better GM than Pelinka, and Pelinka is the accountant.
Let me tell you
just
something.
Say that. Just say that,
bro. If they would have got Kawhi and LeBron, AD, the league would have been so boring. Like who's stopping them? Who's stopping them?
I'm kind of glad it didn't go down.
Thank you.
Here's the thing. And this we got to talk about as far as the super team is concerned. I know how you feel about super teams, and I know how you feel about doing it the right way. But here's the deal:
ain't no right way no more.
You still have to play the game. You got to get on court and ball. And a championship don't shine no different whether it's a super team or whether it's a guy that won with some regular cats on there. So at the end of the day, this narrative that championships aren't created equal is BS.
You're taking a shot at Giannis.
Because
I know you are.
Because at the end of the day,
I'm not gonna take a shot at Giannis.
A chip is a chip.
Giannis was attacking it.
Yeah, he was antagonizing, but he really wasn't in the situation.
It's not even so much Giannis. It's everybody Charles Barkley, who has an issue with super teams. At the end, the only super team that I can say that it was just almost a given that they were going to go to the finals and probably win is the 2017 Warriors. And the only reason that is because all you had to do was drop a prolific scorer into an already built monsters machine. Yeah. So at the end of the day, every other super team that was put together had to have time to gel.
Well,
you see what I'm saying? No, Boston had to have time to gel. They won it, but they only went in the years that Boston put that super team together.
2 years.
They only went to 2 finals.
And they won one. They were some old men. I mean, they were. What you think they were gonna go to 5? I mean, they was old.
But you can't say they were old men when they went to 2 finals in 3 years.
They was old men. They was old men.
So I agree.
But their age means nothing.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. They was already 10 years in the league, 11 years.
That's a big difference.
But does age mean something when you're winning?
It means something, period. Yeah. Okay, so you telling me you're a GM, you gonna go start you a super team with some old 45-year-old
But you can't use
so hold on. Let me use Boston and Celtics. Their experience, because they was not an athletic team at all.
No, they wasn't.
None of them.
Nobody.
Chris Paul, Ray Allen, and Kevin Garnett didn't have it like that. But they mind.
They was old.
The IQ of them together. Oh my goodness, that's why they were so good.
They was on some different. Was on some different ball players.
But they was not. I actually don't think they was a physicality super team. They just IQ.
They was physical at points. No. Only with Kendrick Perkins. Because, like you said, Kevin Garnett couldn't go in there and bang with you 40 minutes.
No, not anymore.
No, he couldn't.
Maybe that first year with Boston. That next year he got hurt. I think he tore his ACL.
He couldn't bang with you.
That was it.
And Paul Pierce the same way.
Yeah.
Paul Pierce had to take spurts. He had to play spurts. And the big shooter.
Yep.
Which was Ray Allen.
So
he was at the twine years of his life. He wasn't really producing that 25 no more.
No. He was like 20.
Yeah,
20,
he was
20.
He was around.
But he was
that
clutch
area.
though. His shots were so timely.
But he always been clutch.
Yeah, he was clutch.
I used to hate him. You remember when he was in Seattle and he bust the rocket? I wanted to go choke him, man.
So Joe, so you helped me look at it a bit different because I still dislike the super teams.
I still hate.
You do got to go out there and play. I do agree with Giannis. It is a little bit easier when you got other guys.
Of course.
Because Chris Middleton, you just never knew what you got, even though he's a great player. But hold on. I do agree with that, but I'm with you too. I don't like the super team era.
I don't like it. But then again, with the Lakers, I see what they're doing. I mean, Westbrook been in the league for what, 14, 13 years
since
now?
2008.
So I mean, if he would have did it,
it's been that long.
It's been a while.
Since 2008.
Yeah, man.
It don't seem that
dudes
long.
are getting up there. Harden is 32. Westbrook 33, 32 about to be 33. Them guys are getting up there, so we gotta factor that in. And he didn't accomplish everything he can accomplish, so I don't mind him going to the Lakers no more.
But respectfully, both Westbrook and Harden are the enigma on the teams. You don't know what you're gonna get. I already know what I'm gonna get in Harden.
Here's the thing.
We're gonna get
a different Harden than Brooklyn.
I don't know if it's true or not, and we don't like to put too many things out there that's not necessarily true. But at the same time, I heard that the reports came out that LeBron, AD, and Westbrook did have a sit-down conversation, and they all talked about how they were going to work together to bring a championship. Simply because Westbrook is now back home in LA.
Yeah.
He wants to bring a championship back to the Lakers again.
Yeah.
And he wants to
with
do
fans,
it
not in the bubble.
With fans.
With fans.
He wants
not
to be
the bubble championship.
well, they didn't win this year. So he wants to bring a championship back to LA, his hometown, his hometown team. And he wants to.
They didn't have a parade either. People got to factor that in.
They didn't have a parade, and he wants
matters.
to take the stigma away that he doesn't know how to win. He's a cancer on the team. He kills teams.
But he still ain't gonna get the credit.
Well, he'll be a champion.
It's
not about him being. It's not about him getting credit. It's about him being a champion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to make it too Lakers based. I want to say this really quickly before we move on to another.
They ate up all the time. I mean, hey man, that was a story though.
If we can move it out to the free agents, I want to talk about this really quickly. I want to hit this. The notable free agents that we have, Chris Paul. Actually, Chris Paul is actually going to sign a 3-year max, $90 million with the Suns right now. So he's elected to stay with the Suns.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he's elected to stay with the Suns.
Kawhi
is probably going to re-sign with the Clippers, but he's probably not going to play since his injury happened in the playoffs later in the season. Yeah. So he may not play next year. So
I think he'd be good.
No, he had ACL injury. He's not going to play. He's not going to play next year. Possibly until if they make the playoffs postseason next year, he'll probably be back.
Yeah.
Mike Conley, a couple teams that are going to be looked out for as far as Utah is concerned are going to have some issues because they're going to be losing Mike Conley. Denver's probably may lose Will Barton, depending on the situation that's going on.
Yeah.
Dragic's going to stay.
Miami's going to be a team
if they get Kyle Lowry, he ain't staying.
Right.
Well, that's
out the door.
That's out the door then.
But Kyle Lowry is the most important piece in that free agency class.
What about DeMar DeRozan?
And I'm looking at Evan Fournier. Got an option to move. Evan Fournier is who? DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan got an option to move. He could take less money and go to a team like Lakers or Clippers or pretty much anywhere.
Right now, the Lakers are nearing a deal with Carmelo. And they're also possibly nearing a deal.
But congratulations to him though, because he needs a ring.
Yeah, congratulations to
Carmelo. I feel like Carmelo Anthony's
he'll retire.
Carmelo don't get a ring, his career is going to get underappreciated. Like kind of like how Tracy McGrady was.
I don't think so.
Because a lot of people,
real ballers like me, we appreciate real ballers.
I get that.
I mean, if you have to go sacrifice and buy hardware, I don't have no love.
I'm talking about the young fans that's
the young fans, they
all
glitz, glam, and bubble gum.
I mean, we didn't get the chance to see Magic Johnson and all them cats, but we know who they are because we learned about them.
Yeah.
But cats like Tracy McGrady, they gonna get lost in the sauce, man.
Well,
like you know what I'm saying? They
I don't know because I think people of our generation that grew up watching T-Mac, but the younger guys, fans. You know, they're gonna get lost with the younger guys.
People don't realize T-Mac was Kobe's legitimate foe.
Oh, most definitely.
Legitimate foe.
People gonna forget that.
You couldn't do. He was a 6'8" guy, long arms,
had the same skill set.
Hold the 7-foot guys.
Yeah.
He was murder.
He was it.
I don't want to stop you on this.
So what we'll do is we'll revisit this, as the weeks come, because free agency actually starts Monday.
Yeah.
So we'll the next week's show is gonna be even crazier because I'm gonna have my eyes glued to the TV and my phone all week.
It's gonna be interesting.
Oh man,
starting Sunday night, it's gonna get interesting.
It's super interesting. Keep in mind the Lakers are also looking at Rudy Gay as well.
Man,
so that's gonna be crazy. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the Tokyo Olympics. We got a lot to talk about when it comes to the Tokyo Olympics. We got to talk about USA basketball and their current state. Is Greg Popovich coaching an issue for a lot of their players right now? And we got to talk about Miss Simone Biles. So, yeah, for the first question, what's going on with USA basketball, and is Pop's coaching an issue?
Well, right now, what's going on with U.S. basketball? They didn't get time. They was playing the playoffs. Mm-hmm. A week later, they trying to suit up for a team. Everybody else had their teams respectively already together, and they was missing a piece of here, a piece there. Yep. But then they had to fall in. You got to remember, these guys still pros. Like, these guys are professional basketball players.
Right.
They ain't come to lose.
You talking about other countries?
Yeah, other countries. Australia, France, loaded.
Yeah.
Nigeria got a bunch of players that were raised in the USA.
Yeah.
They was raised in the USA. They wasn't raised in Nigeria. They were raised in the USA.
Some of them guys
They just come by via Nigeria. Their parents migrated them from there. Yeah. They was here ever since they was 6, 12. Yeah. But however, back to the Popovich. The Popovich.
Hey man, you killing it with the names.
Back to Popovich. Popovich's style, I could see how it could be hard on these youngsters. Because he is not this, like I said, he's not a handler. No. Mm-hmm. He's a guy that's trying to teach you how to win this game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they don't respect that because right now you have what you say, primarily high pick and roll, and let's just shoot.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to recognize, we got to beat you 4-5 different ways in the game. Hustle, outscore you, and play defense. Mm-hmm. And keep it consistently. But they don't do that these days. You seen during the championship, it was like, man, what are we watching? Pop Warner? What are these silly plays come in?
Yeah.
Because you have a bunch of handlers. I mean, it take you, when you walk in the stadium, first thing Milwaukee should have said was, boy, we big down here. We going down to the paint.
Right.
They didn't do that till 3 games in.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Pop is not that guy. Pop's telling you, hey, KD, I like you scoring. I don't like you sitting here playing with the ball. Dang, I don't go to the hole, dang. Why are we waiting on threes? They don't have that kind of coaches no more. You have these handlers. They put here just to handle the guy. Okay, you need some ice. Okay, you want to play 30 minutes tonight? Okay, this is not good for basketball.
Well, here's the deal. My question. I want to shift this over to DeMond really quickly. The question is, because I had this conversation with my frat brother this week, and we had a debate, which was, my thing is, when it comes to USA basketball, their two main issues is the chemistry and the lack of leadership. So, DeMond, do you feel like it's the lack of leadership that is the problem?
No. I want to answer the Pop question. I think Pop style is a problem. Because even though he is a great coach, he's straightforward, he hold it on too tight. You gotta let them breathe. They're not used to you. You're not their coach. There's only one player on that team that's his coach, and that's Keldon Johnson. Mm-hmm. So he's comfortable with that. The other guys are not your coach, and they all respectably stars on their team. So in this new league, the stars are pampered. I mean, they come from the AAU system.
And he never did that.
They AAU system, them coaches are not that great like Pop. They not used to.
And he never did that.
Bro, they are the stars.
Right.
Coming up in
they get what they want.
School. Yeah.
Which is rotting the game.
However,
watered it down.
However, Pop should know that. He, as a great coach, you have to adjust to what your players are, because you can get. They are leadership. Dame is a leader to me. His work ethic and how he pushes and how he talks, that's a leader. And I know he haven't had that much success in the playoffs, but Dame is a leader. Kevin Durant is a leader to me. I think Kevin Durant, just how he is, because basketball players know 7 foot tall, this man handled the ball and got a skill as a guard. Just right there, his aura, that's Kevin Durant. Like how Stephen A. said, that's Kevin freaking Durant. So that right there is a leadership. Like, when he shoot, nobody complain about Kevin Durant shooting the ball. Not a single person.
Yeah, he got to dictate. So that's a
different style of leadership. Now, as far as like a point guard leadership, maybe like a Chris Paul type.
Nah, you ain't getting
they don't have that type of leadership, but there are certain type of leaders that they can listen to.
I think Draymond will speak his mind on anything.
And also I just think they are too skilled, because now they starting to win. They starting to win by 40 something. You made a good point earlier. I mean, these guys fresh out the playoffs. And these other teams, they've been ready. They've been training for the Olympics. You know, I mean, Jrue Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Devin Booker
just got there.
Just
a
left
week ago.
The final, yeah.
Not even a week. Not even a week. 5-6 days.
Right. So it can be tough, and they don't play with each other.
And you got to play with a different ball. The ball is not
different rules.
Different rules. You got to adjust your game. You got to adjust your game to what you countering.
Yeah, and then the honest truth is, it's not our best roster.
I was just about to say
it's not
that.
our best roster, because if we bring it in our 18, I mean, it's not even
going to be close.
You can put them guys together in one
you talking
day.
about Kawhi, LeBron, Steph.
Man, listen, that team would be Steph Curry, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant. What we? Hold on, did I? 5.
I know a lot of people like to say, yeah, I know the world's catching up, but when you
they are catching up.
They are catching up.
Yeah, but check this out.
France team.
But check this out.
They got the defensive player on the team.
But check this out. You got Rudy Gobert and the other guy. But when you break it down, America still had a chance to beat them. They still had that's Australia. You still had a chance to beat them horribly, but in the last 4 minutes you just went blank.
Yeah.
You lost your composure and went blank.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said again.
The Nigeria loss was a bit strange to me, because that's Nigeria.
I said again.
France, understand how they lost to them.
If you take your top 25 players in the NBA, how many of them going to be American?
I mean, if you think about it, international play, think about it. Giannis, defensive player of the year, who won it? That Rudy Gobert from France.
Right.
MVP, the Joker. I mean, what country he from?
He from
Slovenia, I think.
Okay, but again, international. So that's already 2 different awards that international players are taking.
Yeah.
And Giannis won it the last 2 years
in
Greece. I mean, dudes.
And then they got their little guys there.
Crazy. But a lot of the international players starting to take over. They
bridging the gap, but I don't think they quite there yet.
But they getting there.
But I don't think they quite there yet.
Oh man, I mean,
because like I say, you pick the top 25, you gonna probably have what?
Oh yeah,
7 or 8 legit.
You right.
7 or 8.
We don't have our best squad.
Yeah, you gonna have 7 or 8, and
they do got their A squad there.
They only have 1 or 2 that's gonna really can get on the floor and compete with you.
That's true.
Minute in, minute out.
That's true.
But you got a legit 25, and then you got a whole heap of young gunners.
That's
in the wing like a Trae Young. You see what I'm going with that?
Yeah.
But
Trae Young not even considered.
But I think it was just that opportunity to get them all together.
Yeah.
Get your system in, because this is just basically learning on the fly. Mm-hmm. It's basically what this is. We learning on the fly. But anywhere it go, your learning on the fly is supposed to be, hey, Kevin Durant, you get as many shots you want.
Right.
Dame, go to the hole. When your 3 ain't, you done shot 3 of them, Dame. Let's go to the hole. Can't nobody hold you off the dribble. Can't nobody hold none of them off the dribble. Yeah. Jason Tatum, they too athletic, too big, too quick, and they'll settle for the 3, which is, again, fool's gold.
Yeah.
So
you shouldn't be 10 for 31. Somebody got to go to the game and start up a mid-range.
So they are winning right now. They are, coming into their own as far as the team is concerned. So, I mean, a lot of the fans have now silenced and calmed down. Exactly.
Yep.
From the uproar that we had before.
But they play France. tomorrow.
But it's really the media, bro. They have to create a story. It's the summertime.
It's not so much as media. On social media, people all day, every day are talking about how sorry the USA men's basketball team is.
You have people who relish in this. Oh, we hate those unpatriotic guys, but hey, we already expect that from them types. Yeah. But they don't even know what patriotic is.
Right. But we want to give some time to talk about the Simone Biles situation.
Yeah.
Simone Biles did elect to withdraw herself from the team and individual competition due to mental health. At first, it came out as an injury, but it was later reported that it really was due to mental health and the things that she was going through. And I'm gonna just say this because I want to have say my bit on this. For one, I really don't like the fact that people came and attacked her competitiveness in person. Because here's the thing, it was one dude that I saw on social media talking about she don't have the dog like Kobe and Jordan had. It's like, yo, she got 100 gold medals.
Already.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
already.
Yo, like
no
hey,
other.
Hold on.
Like
hold
no
on.
other.
At 22.
At 22.
No other. No other.
Dude, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we really talking about here? Because at the end of the day, I think this goes down into the core of black people as it is where we don't like to address mental health. You know what I'm saying? We don't like to really focus on the mental health aspect of what we go through, and we try to mask it all by being the strong, person that puts all of their stuff, to the side.
We're supposed to carry everything.
We're supposed to carry everything.
We're supposed to carry the building and across the water.
Exactly.
With no boat.
Because at the end of the day, nobody said anything to Michael Jordan when he decided to take a hiatus from basketball after dealing with the death of his father. That was a mental health break.
That was mental health.
And nobody said anything. Yeah. So what I want to do right now is I want to give some insight onto what Simone Biles is going through. So first and foremost, Simone Biles came out, and if you're not familiar with it, it's this thing called the twisties. It's for gymnasts. And basically what the twisties are, it's for gymnasts. It's when you do certain events in gymnastics, you have a certain air awareness about yourself. Your mind and your body is in one sync. So that means you know exactly where you're going to land, where you're going to twist,
your
all
movement,
of that.
all this.
Exactly.
You have to.
When that's disconnected, that's super dangerous, because now you have a situation where
you can die.
You can die. You can be in. She can break her neck.
You can fall, break your neck,
do a lot of this stuff, and it's a confidence stealer.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know, if you're in the air and you're doing, and you got to think about it, at this level of gymnastics, it's at an all-time high.
So higher.
So you're higher.
Yeah.
You're 8 to 10 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Let's just put it like this.
Hold on.
Let's just put it like
it's
this.
Not,
she can do what nobody else can do.
Hey, which is another point to where it's BS to where they're scoring her.
Yeah.
Which is another.
This is the problem.
Which is another stab at her mental.
This is the main focal point. What you just said.
Exactly.
You want something new and different, and you get it served up that nobody can do it, and you don't want to judge it. Talking about because you thinking about the other. Either they can do it or they can't. Give her a A or a B. You can't give her a B for something that nobody else do. That's what you call. Exactly. That's like giving everybody trophies. But that participation.
But
Exactly.
I feel like that might have caused a problem too.
That did cause the problem.
Because she like, man, they really judge me about how great I am. So do I need to?
That caused it.
Do I need to?
That caused it.
Fall back?
But you got to think. But she already had a routine.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't switch.
You have to have a routine.
Yeah. You can't switch your routine mid-routine after you done penalized me for nothing. You penalized me for being too good. That's like saying you got a car too fast, a girl too pretty, a bank account too full. That's what they're saying. That's the stupidest of the stupidest. Yeah. But
man, I'm agreeing with you a lot today. What's wrong?
It was intentionally like this. It was intentionally like this because we got to water this down. Yeah. It's getting out of hand. She's gonna do something. Nobody's gonna duplicate this for 30 years.
Yeah.
We got to. And this is your Olympic committee. This is what really made me bad about the Richardson girl running.
Yeah.
This what really made me mad. Okay, all the things to pick on, you picking on weed.
Yeah.
You got athletes performing. You got athletes perforing.
That's two totally different things. That's two totally different things.
Well, I'm mixing it in for you. See, you got all this whoopla around the Olympic Committee. You taking bribes. You're putting it in places that don't supposed to go there.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, how about running the Olympics at this time anyway? In a place that where they having a spike in a coronavirus that they don't even know what variant it is.
Yeah.
And they having a spike.
Yeah.
And we really going through this, and all you could think about is how to penalize Simone Biles. Get out of here.
I mean, they got other people in place to figure out a lot of other things.
You had a million things to do. If you're a judge, I'm giving you a 10 because I know can't nobody even do it. When I give you a 10, I'm gonna go over here and tell one of the car companies give you a Lexus.
10, I already knew she
ain't Toyota's made in Japan. Yeah, y'all need to go Toyota. Y'all need to go over there and get a Lexus because we ain't gonna see this.
But
again.
let me tell you something. I remember watching the gymnastics like with Gabby, because Gabby Douglas was like the first that brought me,
brought you to
black. And she was good. People forget how good she was.
Yeah,
because how great Simone is.
But you could also point out the fact that majority of the girls that were on the team, 4 years ago, they're not on the team anymore.
No.
So you got to think about Simone Biles.
What about the rape case?
That's a mental thing.
What about the rape case?
But she was there though.
Was Simone Biles there for the rape case?
Yes, she was there.
So he raped all these girls.
Did you see how many events she was signed up for?
Yeah,
she canceled like 4 and she still got more left.
That's what I'm saying.
She had too much on her plate.
What I'm saying. I don't
think so. I think she would have won all of them with gold.
Of course, but her mental.
I think they took. They took.
And her brother is going through that issue as well.
Yeah. Well, she got personal issues because her family background. She was in foster care.
Yeah,
all kinds of. It's all kinds of cars she had to deal with.
I just want people
and they
to
still
stop
trying
being
to break it down.
idiotic, man. Like yo,
we know these people ain't gonna be idiotic. They will hail an idiot and try to kill a queen. That's where we at. The Joker is the king in their mind.
It's because Wayne ain't here today. That's why you throwing them gems, man.
No, man, Wayne. It ain't because
Wayne. Wayne. I ain't stopping that. I'm gonna let it
flow
flow out.
Wayne train, man. It ain't because Wayne train, but
I'm gonna let it flow out, man.
I'm just saying, yo, like
facts.
The young lady is going through a lot right now. And don't get me wrong. We can be disappointed that we don't get to see her compete.
But what
we don't get to do is we don't get to bash her drive and all the things that she's accomplished thus far. Mm-hmm. We don't get to point that out because half the people that's talking mess about her, y'all can't even get up out the couch.
Can't even do a cartwheel. Because I know I can't right now, man. I can't do cartwheels.
Let's be real. So
I'm hurting.
That's a very dangerous
I need some sleep,
sport.
boy. I need some
that's
sleep.
A very dangerous. I think that's more dangerous than football.
That's probably one of the most dangerous sports. That and cheerleading.
If she got the twist. What is it?
Twisties.
The twisties, and she up in the air that high. Think about when you see a regular average person try to do a backflip. And they not high. But when
you get scared when you see it.
It looks scary when they hit their back. Look like they just snapped the neck. So imagine her up in the air that high.
Off on her own power.
Yeah, man, because we didn't always see our uncle that
and
still got it trying to do a flip.
She's 5 foot, 4'11", jumping 10, 12 feet in the air.
That's another thing.
Like, wow, where did this come from?
I will say this before we get off this segment. There is a solution to alleviate the twisties. One solution is to practice on a soft mat. Also practicing on a foam pit. The only issue that Simone said is that the issue with the twisties is probably like a 2-week duration, but because of where they are in Tokyo right now, that's way too long to be able to get past it, which is why she decided to just remove herself.
She just needs to chill.
If people would read, they would understand the context behind why she decided to remove herself instead of bashing her about it, which is what I'm saying. So, again, shout out to you, Miss Simone Biles. You are still the GOAT. You still, you still have inspired so many of our young girls and guys in gymnastics. So at the end of the day, I salute you, Mama. Keep doing your thing. Don't worry about it. Get yourself together. We pray for your health. That's what we do. So anyway, we're going to get into this NFL right now.
Hey, this one.
Wayne missed this part, boy.
This is about to get intense.
So here's what I'll do. Because Wayne is a Green Bay Packers fan, we're going to revisit some of these questions next episode with him here when he comes back, because I definitely want to get his input on everything. But for right now,
Wayne going to attack me after what I got to say.
That's fine.
And my homie Ben over there,
who's also a Green Bay Packers fan. But we want to talk about the Aaron Rodgers situation dealing with Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers finally returned back to the Packers training camp this past Tuesday. He spoke about the Packers in, I think, a 30-minute press conference that he had.
Probably one of the best press conferences I ever seen.
It was so truthful, and I got some notes written down about it. We'll play a small clip of what he had to say in that press conference. But basically, we want to basically talk about the Aaron Rodgers fiasco and the situation. So let's go ahead and get to the clip real quick, and we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
Some of the outgoing veterans were treated, and just the fact that we didn't retain a number of players.
So basically, a little bit more about what he was saying going into is he spoke about the players that he felt like the organization didn't, give their due respect as they were going out the door. He talked about the issues of him being who he was and not afforded the abilities to have more input in the front office decisions. And my thing is, and notes that I wrote down is, the question I want to pose is, it's crazy how a guy like Aaron Rodgers speaks like that. How many other star players or just players, period, on other organizations that aren't run is prototypically known to be run as well as the Packers organization go through this? Because there's a lot of players that feel as if, hey, look, listen, I feel like this could be a player that you might want to go get, or I feel like this might be a move that you want to go get, and then the organization just said, well, you just go play football. We handle that. How many more organizations have players on it that want to speak like an Aaron Rodgers can, but
they ain't got that weight.
Exactly.
But to me,
that character.
To me, he should have did this earlier. He waited. I think he been saying stuff.
Oh, I disagree.
I think he been saying stuff, but if you Aaron Rodgers, you Tom Brady, you these big name quarterbacks, every year we finna have a talk. You're not gonna leave me out. You're not finna leave me out here running for my life. Look at Russell Wilson. Guy running for his life every year, and then they say, well, Russell don't look so good in this game. No, duh. He got 300-pound men hanging on his neck. You wouldn't look good neither. I mean,
300 pounds with speed, too.
Yeah, we ain't talking
slow.
We ain't talking about slow. We talking about athletes. We talking about dudes. We talking about dudes. This is their job to hit you. Hit the quarterback. Okay, they hungry. They ain't fed them pork chops all day. These dudes, they coming for you. Look, these guys should speak up earlier. Look, man, I don't like this. I'm not comfortable. Me personally, how the NFL set up, I ain't even signing no 4-5 max deals. We going 2 years at the most, because you got to prove to me that you want me on these papers.
But they don't have the flexibility like the NBA does.
Aaron Rodgers does.
It's Aaron Rodgers.
Westbrook does. Russell Wilson does.
It's Aaron Rodgers.
Tom Brady does.
But here's the thing: these guys have championships.
Yes, that's my point.
So I'm talking about the everyday guy, the offensive lineman,
that
feels the same way he did.
Yeah.
But he
on a 1-year contract trying to survive for the next year.
But you still got to shoot your shot. It's a collective thing.
It's not the same.
It's 56 of y'all. It's 56 of y'all.
And you got
55.
It's 55.
We all got to be together.
But you got
this the same game.
But you got 25,000 guys waiting on an opportunity.
Yes, but
so they don't mind just you don't.
Yes,
come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
we got the other guy.
But when they do that, what happens? You be like Dallas. But you had a solid line,
you can't
and
replace,
then you come in and you say,
you can't replace Aaron Rodgers.
You can't, but you can't replace a bunch of these guys.
So if they
not working out, it's not working out. It's looking good on paper because you got one guy giving it all his all, but you wearing him out like a dog. And then you have these other guys in the wing who just basically number crunchers. We're gonna crunch numbers. We're gonna put in Willie Joe in here to block. All he need to do is just come up with a block every now and then. That's not working out. It's getting people hurt. It's getting people wore out. They mentally stressed. It's not working out. So some got to give. Now, if you get all 55 guys in there in the locker room on one side, you trust me, the owners, GMs, coaches, everybody gonna have to pause. That's the team.
Well, we talked about that a while back as far as the team coming together, or just the players coming together anyway when it came to cap situation.
If you go in with this, I got to do my job for my family mentality. All you're gonna do is end up with $100,000 2 years down the road, broke leg, and everybody else winning. Now you go in 55 deep, you might get that $1 million deal or close to it. But for certain,
that's
ideal.
It's
ideal, but it's more deeper than that, man.
For certain demand, if y'all go in separate, y'all dead in the water.
That's why they got a players' association for that type of stuff. And these guys negotiate about this all the time.
And usually the player associations are outweighed by the players, right?
Right,
because they don't really have the big names stepping up to the tarmac.
Right. So
that's the point.
Let me stop.
The NBA is so good because who alone on the association? You got Chris Paul. You got big names. You got LeBron. You got these running through these guys. Not in the NFL because they'll say we're gonna pay you. Don't worry about the other guy. You don't hear nothing to it till the season comes, huh?
So I see what you're saying. You're talking about all the guys should come together because the NFL. Let's go with
they use them like stock. They use them like cows in the field. That's what they use them like.
Let's compare the two between the NFL and the NBA real quick. The NBA superstars control the league. We know that, right?
Yes.
James Harden,
Major League stars, Major League controllers.
Let's think about what James Harden did to Houston. He told them, "I don't want to be there." In fact, he came to Houston in a training with a fat suit. And told him, I want to go to Brooklyn.
Hold on, wait. It was a fat suit.
Man, I think it was a fat suit because he lost the weight instantly when we got to Brooklyn.
You think it was a fat suit?
Man, listen.
Had some phone books under there.
Just come on, because we don't want to be too long on this. He tell the organization, I want to go to Brooklyn.
And they sent him to Brooklyn.
They sent him to Brooklyn. The NFL, even they superstars like Aaron Rodgers, like Patrick Mahomes probably got power. It's I'm talking about a handful of players that do not have that power at all. What Aaron Rodgers did had to be planned out. You said he should have did this before.
Yes.
I think he did it perfectly.
You think so?
Because they didn't already reach an agreement. They thought everything was good. I'm pretty sure they had no idea he was going to go out there and say all that.
That's true.
Boy, he fired him up,
but
though.
everything is already rearranged, and they can't go back because it's Aaron freaking Rodgers.
Man, that boy loaded up.
That's a bad man.
That's a bad boy. But listen,
that's a bad man.
What he did, he put him in a position like, we can't cut out the microphone.
No.
30 minutes. ESPN had that whole press conference. You know, they cut off a press conference. They played the whole thing. And when they came back on air, they were like,
everybody was shocked.
But he said,
it was one of the greatest moves of all time.
Man, that boy.
And if he only have one Super Bowl, he gonna be remembered for that moment.
Because he just may have sparked the situation.
He did. He helped the NFL situation.
Man,
out.
That boy pulled up with an M1 Abrams tank and started letting off rounds. I became a fan, and I was never a big fan of Aaron. I know he's great,
But I became a fan instantly. I was like, man, I hope they win.
Well, on the field,
I got to root for somebody. I know my Texans ain't winning
on the
field.
So we cheeseheads this year?
Cheeseheads. What's up?
I ain't never been no cheesehead.
I mean, by default, we
I
got
give
no choice.
I give all the athletes they props just due. But I ain't never been no cheesehead.
Hey man,
no siree.
First of all, you in the NFC, so I understand.
Exactly.
But think about what Aaron Rodgers they was preparing for the future. They getting ready to let him go, and what caught them off guard is Aaron Rodgers was still being great. He won the MVP.
So here's the question.
That's what caught them off. After the year they just drafted Jordan Love.
So here's
the question. They was expecting a decline, but they got an incline from him.
Is that gamble gonna work out?
The question is this the last hoorah for Aaron Rodgers?
I think so.
Hell yes.
I think so.
Because
hey, Devontae Adams didn't sign his contract. I think it's etched in stone. Both of them saying we going, and Devontae gonna end up with Aaron.
No, the only way I feel like, but then again, we don't know Aaron Rodgers. But the only way I feel like they'll stay if they win the Super Bowl this year, he can stay. Or if Aaron Rodgers, for what I see now, he'll win it and walk up and like, all right.
Yeah, I think
y'all ain't winning another without me.
I think this is what it is.
And then they'll go a whole 25 years having won since Aaron Rodgers. I mean, bro, that sounds like an Aaron Rodgers plan.
I think this is what it is. I think he gonna leave regardless. I think if he had the most picture perfect season, I think if he go 0 losses and win every game straight, I still no. I'm just